Hello guys, tuning you back again. Well, this time we got a hardware review. I picked myself up a Steam Deck. It's not the OLED version, it's the LCD version, but it's still rather nice. I have played on the OLED version and that screen is absolutely beautiful. So obviously I don't think you can buy the older versions anymore. They all sold out basically. And so there's basically the OLED version is the only one you can get, but you can't go wrong. So it comes in this case. It's maybe a little bit dusty. Comes in this case, nice hard shell case it comes in. There's a compartment in the bottom. I think this is where you put the power supply. So it comes in a very nice case, which is good they do that. I say this is the 512 version, the one with the non-reflective screen. So this is what you get in the box. You also get, if I pick this up, you also get a little cleaning cloth, which is quite nice. It's a molded case as well, so the Steam Deck and the case nicely fits in it. So I'll put this at the back. So this is sorry for any reflections. You can see that you don't get a full reflection. You get like a muted reflection. It's the same sort of thing as on my Arcade Vulix cap. So guys, this is a Steam Deck. So on the Steam Deck, you got a touchpad here, which is like a mouse. Same on the other side. You got your D-pad, your select button, 2 analog sticks, your start button, and your A, B, X and Y. Underneath then, you've got triggers on each side, which is nice, and you've got trigger buttons. So the bumper buttons, essentially. And then underneath then, there's 2 buttons on each side, which you can put your fingers on as you're playing, and these can be set up for anything you want. On the top, we got the volume, we got a headphone jack, which is quite nice. We got a USB-C charging port. That can also be used to transfer games and stuff to the Steam Deck as well. And we got a power button. And then 2 speakers. But yeah, this thing's got pretty nice sound coming out of it. It's quite a weighty unit. It seems to have rather hard plastic. I think the OLED model, the plastic is a little bit thinner from what I was seeing. On this side, you've got a Steam button, which brings up various options like settings, and you can use it to close games and stuff. And on this side, there's like a print or whatever they call these things. You press that, and then it gives you a lot of in-game options you can change on the fly. So, as you can see, it's a nice little unit. It's very comfortable. It feels nice in the hand, to be honest. It feels like a nice joypad. Your fingers fit rather nicely in behind there, and you hold it in position, and you can play. The touchpad itself does take a little bit of getting used to, and it's got a bit of haptic feedback on it. The same with the one on the other side. The old machine's got a lot of haptic feedback as well, or vibration motors, whichever you want to call them. So let's turn this on. I've already basically added on to where it was. So what we'll do is I'll show you the interface. So when you normally turn this on, there's normally pictures on these. I just haven't bothered putting them on there. When you first turn your unit on, it boots up into your Steam OS, which is what this is. And in the Steam OS, then you've got your various games and stuff that you've put on here. I've put a lot of stuff on here. There's stuff you can play in the store. You go down, it gives you, tells you some of your games on here, your updates, suggests things you to buy. So when you press the Steam button, it gives you, if I go into it gives you this option, which then allows you to go into your library. So there's all your library of your stuff that's on you, stuff that's in your library that's not on you. It also tells you what's in your library actually works really well on the Steam Deck itself, which is nice. And then you got your store, which takes you to a version of the Steam store. This is like a more sort of, I don't know, small device friendly version of the store. So everything's on there. You can do your buy-in and sell-in. You can also just buy on the PC and then, it picks them up on you. You got your friends chat. You've got media. So if you've got any media files on you, oops, I can get focus. If you've got any media files on you, you can do it. That's your downloads. And then you've got an extensive amount of settings in here then. Various things you can do to the, change your audio, your display, Bluetooth, connect controllers, Bluetooth headsets, you know, all your communication stuff, your friends, storage. See, as storage wise, I say this is the 512 model, and I do have a 512 SD card in here as well. And then if I press this button then, if I zoom in here, this button brings up an options menu where you can change, like you can have a look in there, you got your notifications, you got your friends messaging, you've got a load of options for screens and turning off Wi-Fi and stuff like that. In here is where you do all your game tweaking when you're actually playing the games to save power or to boost games. There's a lot of settings in here you can mess around with when you play games. You can basically try and tweak everything to your liking. Soundtracks will appear in here if you've got any. There's your help stuff, which I'm bothered with. And this is Decky. You can sideload third-party applications on here. This one allows me to, once I click into Decky and I turn enable MTP on, it allows me to connect this directly to the PC and it'll show up like a network drive. Otherwise, you need a third-party application to read the SD cards, because I think they're in something like an exFAT4 format or something like that. So they're in the Linux format, essentially. So you need a third-party application. I currently can't get this working, even though what I've done, I've changed the BIOS settings, I've gone into here, supposedly it works, but my PC just doesn't pick it up. So you can also just put an SD card in the top of there. Not an SD card, a pen drive with all your stuff on, and you can go to the desktop and download it all from there. So that's pretty much how it sets the Steam Deck out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to nip back now. I'm going to change the camera so you can see the screen a little bit better, and I'll show you the actual desktop mode. Right, we're back. Hopefully you can see this a little bit better. Right, so basically what you do is this Steam Deck essentially it's a PC, so you can run it as a desktop PC as well. So you press the Steam button, you go down to power, and then you go down to switch to desktop. What this then will do, will switch to the Linux desktop, and that Linux desktop basically just gives you a PC. I'm gonna have to put it down a little bit to sort of do a lot of these options a minute. So basically you've got your file browser, so you can browse anything you want. You got your emu deck, which you can put that's the thing as well. If you want emulators on this, you just need to basically come into here. You need to let me close that. There's a couple of YouTube videos. You can use a mouse as well. There's a couple of YouTube videos to show you. Just go to your browser, download emu deck, and then run emu deck, let it install, and it'll install all the emulators for you, and it'll add them all to your SteamOS. You will need the BIOSes, mind. You can look this up. There's plenty of YouTube. There's some good YouTube videos out there that explain how to do this. The same with other stores as well. You don't have to just use Steam for this. You can sideload other shop stores. So I've got my Epic account on here as well, and you can download the games off the Epic account and they work on here as well, which is really good. So basically, you got a fully fledged PC essentially. Or Linux PC. If you know how to use Linux, you're sorted. I'm not that up on Linux at the moment, so it's a little bit weird through a viewfinder, so it may be a bit awkward. But yeah, you can browse the net. You can do all the things you can on a PC essentially. But you do need to go to this desktop when you're adding stuff back into, you know, when you're updating emu deck or you're adding stuff. You can also if I put this down, it's easier to double click like that sometimes. You can also open up your Steam account from here and get the standard PC type Steam account. Like if I go to the store. Also, the Wi-Fi on this is really fast. Saying that now, it's not coming up, but so all your games are in the list here. Anything you add to Steam will add in here basically, and then you can play it all from here as well, which is really nice. So that's pretty much how you go to the desktop. You got to really know how to use a Linux desktop. But to be honest, if you use a PC desktop, it's pretty simple. The only thing you might want to, comes in super handy, if you want to right click is that. So it's your left trigger button. And if you want to bring up the keyboard, you hold down the Steam button, which is there, and you press X on the pad. And then if you do that, it'll bring up the keyboard. That took me a while to figure that out, and it'll sort of, you'll be putting your head out trying to work that out. So that's how you get the keyboard up. So that's the Linux desktop. So we will go back to your Steam OS. I'll show you how long that actually takes. It takes about a minute, maybe a bit less. And then I'll show you some of the stuff that this can actually do. I'm really impressed with the Steam Deck, the stuff it can actually run. It's pretty impressive what it can actually run on you. Emulator wise, GameCube will work on you, Dreamcasters, Atomic Wave. I haven't tried PS2 yet, but it is on you. And things like that will go on 3DO. I've got on you that I haven't tried. I'll show you some emulator stuff. So I've got Emulation Station on you, which is probably your best way of doing the emulators. Instead of cluttering up your Steam menu with like thousands of games, you're better off just play everything in here. So these are the type of things I've got on here at the moment. I'll even do Xbox games, 360 games, which I haven't actually tried yet. So if I go to, say, I know, something like MAME. So if I go to Battle Grieger or Battle Garaga. You can put Final Burn on you and all sorts of things. You can put the film MAME list on. It all depends on the size of your SD card and the size of the internal card. I'd say if you buy one of these, you could go for the cheaper model and just buy a bigger SD card. Save money that way. Apparently, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference between loading games off the SD card or loading them off the internal, as long as you get a nice, decent size SD card. Trust me to pick a game that takes ages to go through its ROM checks. So I'll turn this up a bit. I say you can use the analog stick if you want, or you can use the pad. So the D-pad seems really nice, to be honest. It does have a really decent quality D-pad. Oh, there's a super amount of lag in looking through the viewfinder. So I'll have to play it looking to the side. I have changed the colours on the screen on this a little bit. I've made the screen a little bit more warm coloured, and I've boosted the colours a bit. But you know, it's pretty decent as it is standard. But you can, it's something I do probably on a standard monitor anyway. You get the idea, and to get out of this, it's basically select and start. So show you something 3D wise emulator. Let's have a look where we got it. Let's find GameCube. Actually, I'll show you Atomic Wave. This is not actually a 3D Atomic Wave game. I probably would be better off showing you something like Dolphin Blue. In fact, I'll show you Dolphin Blue. Demon Fist Dolphin Blue. The Atomic Wave stuff seems to work perfect. Same with the Dreamcast stuff. They're pretty much the same sort of machine anyway. Turn that down a tad. You do get a little bit of hitching in the sound when you get loading. But apart from that. So yeah, you get Atomic Wave games, nice 3D games all working. GameCube stuff seems to work pretty well. You do sometimes get a little bit hitching when loading, but generally when the games are actually running, they run pretty well. So that's that. So we'll go out of here, Emulation Station. Sorry if it's wobbling a bit, guys. I got no way of sort of really placing this in a position where it's easy to see, if you know what I mean. So as for games on here, so let's have a look at some Steam games. So I'll show you Bright Memory Infinite, which is a very impressive Steam game that surprisingly runs really well on this machine. What you can do as well, I got Metro Exodus on your running. There's a website you can go to. I'll see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll chuck it in the description. And you can go there, and they will tell, you can search for a game, and they'll tell you if it's it's compatible with the deck. The same as you can go on Steam, it tells you it's compatible. There's loads of stuff on Steam that isn't being verified that works, basically. But yeah, they tell you if it's compatible. And if it is, they give you the best settings to use in the settings menu. So I found with Exodus, if you change the frame rate down to 40 FPS, it runs perfect. Which is really impressive. And with a small screen like this, if you're running 40 FPS, it doesn't really make much of a difference. Same as you run games at 30. So you will have to tweak things because obviously it's handheld in there, you know. So now you'll hear the fan going. Yeah. It gets quite warm, the fan. So if I'll play this in the viewfinder, I can't play in the viewfinder. So you can see this game is really pretty. It runs very nice indeed. I could look at the floor and zoom in. I'm surprised this game runs on here, to be honest. See how pretty this game is. Nice reflections. This does have ray tracing and everything as well. You can basically use your sword on these guys. Alright, where do I go from here? That's the question. You see the quality of the graphics. Very impressive little handheld. Way better than something like the Switch. Use light blade to break through... Alright. There we go. You see there's no hitches on this at all. How do I go this way? So it's just quite a cheap game on Steam as well. And if you've got it looks wicked with ray tracing. Should have tried the sword in, wrong button. But you get the idea, and to exit a game you can either go back to the menu like you would do on a standard Steam game, or you can go out to this menu and then you can go down to exit game. I say sorry if it's not zooming in correctly. It can be a little bit awkward because I'm using an iPhone basically to record it. So what you do then is you go to your Steam library, and then you go to install games, and this is the sort of stuff that's installed actually on the machine itself. So if I find something else that's nice looking, so tell you what, let's play a beat 'em up, a DNF Duel. This is a really nice game, pretty graphics, Arc System works. I don't think it did that well though. I think a lot of people sort of just dismissed it straight away. Say this machine goes up fairly loud as well. It's got a pretty good sound from it, and if you plug headphones in or get Bluetooth, you get a pretty decent sound off them as well. Nexon. They are well, the Grand Blue Saga beat 'em up. There's a RPG coming out, which has been around. They've been saying it's been coming out for a long time. It looks fantastic. It was supposed to come out this year, but obviously it didn't. I say this is a fairly modern beat 'em up as well. This thing will play Street Fighter 6 as well. It's fully compatible. I haven't actually put it on yet. You can, obviously, because it's Wi-Fi and everything, you can play online and everything. But we're going to do a local mode. We're going to do a free battle. It's been a pretty cool PC if you've got a cab, to chuck it in the cab, so you can take it out when you want to use it. And you've got the desktop mode, and you can use it in a Vulix or something like that. It would be quite cool. Oh, they locked. Oh yeah, I forgot they had new characters. Loading's not too bad in here either. Games load pretty decent, pretty fast. It's not as fast as having like super fast SSD on a PC or a PS5, but loading's okay. Takes about 30 seconds to boot up as well from properly shut down. So this thing's great for playing a lot of the lower end Steam stuff, but it's surprising how much of the high end games this will actually play. With a bit of tweaks and stuff, you know. You may have to do that. Oh. So it's a really nice beat up this. It's a really over the top move. I'd say this game works perfect. Yeah, I would say as well, even I was playing some shoot ups on here, vertical ones, so I'll give you a quick show of one of them. And I almost won CC'd one of them, so it's not if you can't play shoot ups on here. I'll show you one more game and then we'll I'll give you my thoughts basically. Let's try and find. I was playing Bullet Hell. Bullet Soul, sorry, not Bullet Hell. Bullet Soul Infinite. And I got right to the last boss on you. I was thinking playing on a smaller screen it'd be a bit more difficult. This is where you may need to use the mouse. Actually, I'll just use my hand. That's easier. So yeah, obviously it's touchscreen as well, as you've seen. So you will get this thing will get stinking. But you grease off your fingers and stuff. You will have to clean it all the time, and the coating on it is really slippery as well, which is quite nice. You can't really put this vertical. You could probably change the game to go vertical, but it's not really going to work because you'd have to hold it like this, and there's no way of really using the controls. If I get a little bit closer, but even on this screen, I got right to the last boss. Surprisingly easy to see the bullets. Quite a nice game this as well if you want to pick it up on Steam. It's quite a fun shoot 'em up. It was a 360 game originally. So let's go back to the main menu. In fact, let's get out of here. So what do I think of the Steam Deck? So I've had it for literally 2 weeks now. I've been playing around with the emulators and stuff on it. As a handheld emulator machine, this game's pretty fun. This thing's pretty fantastic. You're going to be able to play pretty much everything, I think. It says it's even got PS3 on here, so whether that works, I don't know. I haven't tried PS2 yet. But yeah, so as a handheld emulator machine, fantastic. The screen on this one is very nice. I would definitely go for the one with the anti-reflection, because otherwise you'd be really reflecting. Yeah, the screen on this one is tidy. It's pretty decent screen. It's not an OLED, like, if you know what I mean. The OLED one is just, is stunning, the OLED one, but the screen on here is pretty nice, and you can do a bit of tweaks on it and stuff as well. I would say that the touchpad itself takes a little bit of getting used to, same as this one. D-pad is good, the actual analog sticks are good, the triggers feel really nice, and the buttons are fine. There's lots of options for tweaking, and it's got good sound. It feels a good quality device. You can't really twist it or bend it. It seems a very nicely made device, very nice quality. Comes with a good case. Yeah, so would I recommend it? I would say if you're after a handheld that can play games better than a Switch, essentially, and you can play PC games, and you've got a good, Steam list, even if you haven't got a good Steam list. Steam cause sales, especially Christmas time now, Steam sales will be insane. Yeah, I definitely recommend this. I'm really liking it. I'm finding myself using it quite a bit. Obviously, it's an easy pickup device, isn't it? Sometimes you just want to pick up something and have a go of it, and it seems really nice. And with the fact that you could buy a dock for this as well, and dock it to a TV, and then use it essentially as a Linux PC, not a Windows PC. You can install. It is possible to install Windows 10 on here, but I've heard some people not recommending doing it because they don't run too well. But I haven't actually seen it myself, so I don't know how well that actually runs. But the Linux desktop is fine. You can install Windows stuff on there, works, and you got your browser and everything. You just do everything you do with a standard PC, basically. Plus, there's a load of free stuff on Linux. You can download just like free versions of Office and stuff. So you can use this like a PC and then take it away Switch style, essentially, as switch to a handheld, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I would say with this, for the money you can pick this one up. These were going for something like 380 quid as soon as the OLED version come out. That's the 512 one with this screen, but they're all sold out now. So you basically, I'm not sure exactly the OLED prices. I think there's 2 different models now. I think there's a one, no, maybe 3. I'm not sure. There may be a 512, a 1 terabyte, and a 256 now. Yes, if you buy one now, you're buying the OLED version, and to be honest, the OLED version is amazing. In some ways, I would love to have the OLED version, but I'm not going to buy another one now because I got this one. So I can't complain. Very nice machine. So yeah, I would definitely recommend the Steam Deck. It seems a really cool device. I'd say Valve seem to think that going forward, they've got no plans to update the hardware for quite a while. So they're still thinking you're going to, with tweaks and stuff, you're going to be running a lot more games in this. Like the native resolution is 1280 by 800. So it's just a tad over 720p, but obviously that's a 720p screen, or just over 720p. So, putting anything else on there, I suppose you get super sampling, sort of, and it would look nicer. But generally, it looks all right for a handheld and a screen that size. It's fine, you don't really need anything much higher than that. It does the job for what it is, and it obviously keeps the price down as well. There is a screen mod you can do for this, I've seen, to put a 1080p screen in it. But then you are going to lose a bit of performance by running your games at 1080p. So I understand why Valve picked the 720p screen for price, obviously, and to hit that performance. Battery life. I haven't been playing anything on here that really pushes it for a while, but I've heard if you've got something that really pushes it, you're talking an hour and a half to 2 hours with it going full blast. But I have charged it quite a few times since I've been using it. But I think the battery life seems pretty decent for what it is. Obviously, you can go in here, you can press the button down and go to there, and then you can clock everything down a bit. Like you could check your frame limit down. You could change your TDP settings as well, so you can change your watts. So you could knock this right the way down to like 5 watts. Obviously, some games won't run properly then, but so there is tweaks, as a user you can do to save battery as well. But overall, yeah, I'm quite impressed with the Steam Deck. I really like it. It's a cool bit of kit, and it's a nice alternative to having a Switch, to the fact that this actually is better than a Switch. In fact, you can even run Switch games on you if you really wanted to. Part of Emu Deck and that is you can actually run Switch games on you. I don't know how well they run mine, but you can do it. So yeah, definitely Steam Deck is recommended. So if you can pick one up for a decent price, go for it. So hopefully you've enjoyed that, guys, and hopefully the videos come out okay, because it's a bit hard to tell through a viewfinder. But yeah, Steam Deck recommended, and I'll catch you again. Bye now.